Hello, beautiful people. You're welcome to Moment of Distinction. My name remains Caroline Alfred, and today I'll be sharing very few tips on how to have a healthy marital relationship. I'll target the do's and the don'ts of a healthy relationship. Now, in no particular order, I would like to make the list. Number one, respect your spouse's special days. Respect your spouse's special days. Days such as birthdays should be respected. They should be remembered. In so doing, you will make your spouse understand that you love him, that you love her, that you remember him or her always. It's only been wise for you to remember such days. Not remembering such days would tell your other partner that you don't value the relationship, that you don't care about the relationship. Make deliberate efforts to celebrating these days, because they have a way of making your partner know that you love him or you love her. My second point is learn to celebrate your spouse in public. Learn to celebrate his strength. Learn to celebrate her strength in public. And then when you come back to the house, you can now begin to point out his or her flaws and begin to find possible ways of making right that weakness. Sometimes I see some spouses quarrel over things in public. Maybe your husband or your wife has done something and you feel that it shouldn't be, or you're not comfortable with it. The best thing for you to do is to try to cover up the spouse at that point in time and try to make everything relaxed. And then when you go home, you begin to point out, oh, this is where you did wrong, this is where you went wrong. Celebrate his or her strength in public. If he's a very good public speaker, you celebrate him. If he's a very good analyst, you celebrate him. If he knows how to do certain things very well, celebrate him in public. And then when you come back home, you can now sit down, deliberate on the flaws and things that need to be changed. Correcting your spouse sometimes in public, or trying to make him or her feel like he has done something terrible in public, would end up making that relationship go sour. It can really make things bad. So please, my advice is that you celebrate your partner in public, celebrate their strength in public, and then when you come back home, you can be able to sort things and tell them where they have gone wrong. Now, my third point is this. As a man, as a woman, as a husband, as a wife, as a couple, you must do certain things together. Eat together, bake together, walk together, pray together, watch TV together. Don't live boring lives as a couple. I know some people, the man is in the room watching football, the woman is in the other room watching maybe African Magic or Z World or some other movie, and they are just like that. They never have a time to come together and watch TV and laugh and bond. Watching TV together is a way of making the husband and wife bond very well. You could laugh over certain funny scenes. Certain things could be rekindled in your marriage. Certain flame that probably was once lost, or maybe even if the flame was there, it can just become hotter. The love can just get, better. So I would advise, do things together, eat together. Not every time the man is eating separately, the woman is eating separately. Sometimes eat together, feed each other. Some people, the only time they feed each other or they eat together is just on the wedding day. When you say, it's time to feed, it's time for the groom to feed the bride, or it's time for the bride to feed the groom, you then see them. They cut the cake, they clean the mouth, they put the cake, they put the wine, sometimes they hug and they peck, and it ends there. It should continue. It has a way of making the relationship healthy. It has a way of making you and your partner bond. Pray together. A family that prays together stays together. A couple that pray together stay together. You mustn't just eat together, bathe together, dance together, do this together and do that together, but you must pray. Your spiritual lives as a couple must be intact. If both of you disagree, or if both of you refuse to pray together, certain things might want to creep in. Satan may want to creep into the mind of the man or the mind of the woman. But where there is an agreement in prayer, where there is an agreement on the altar of prayer, I mean, as a couple, you'll be able to close certain loopholes that the enemy may want to penetrate and then get your relationship. A lot of relationships fail as a result of the inability of the man and the woman to pray together. Don't forget, a couple that pray together stay together. Now, my fourth point is configure your figure. Configure your figure. Sometimes I hear women say, oh, I'm married now. I shouldn't spend so much time working on myself. I will just leave myself like that. You know, some men feel that when they're married and they eat good food from their, wives, their tummy gets big and they're just living their lives like that. I mean, if your husband married you as a slim person, and of course he likes you slim, getting married shouldn't just give you the free will to just be anyhow. I understand that childbirth and a lot of things could add to making you a little bit chubby. That's for the slim people. But make deliberate, conscious efforts to still look that sweet 16 that your husband once met you. Try. Some people complain, oh, my husband, he's looking at some other girl outside. Well, I don't support that. But probably you're not encouraging him with your body. You're not encouraging him with your new size. For the women, not every man likes a slim person. So don't think I'm biased in this statement. Some men like them big. So if your husband likes you big and he wants you that way, I don't see why you wouldn't be comfortable in your body. You see some people who naturally are big, they are good like that. And they want to slim down by all means. Why? If the world were to be filled with slim people, it will not be interesting. It will not be fine. Everybody God created, he had a reason. He created the slim ones for a reason. He created the chubby ones for a reason. Different people have what they love. So if you're on the big side, please don't try to come down slim as a result of maybe inferiority complex or people telling you, oh, you are fat, you're big. Meanwhile, your spouse likes you like that. I've seen people who complain, I married my wife big. She started watching her weight and now she's slim. Please calm down. You mustn't be slim. Everybody must not be slim. Just be who you are. Be confident in your body. Don't let people shame you into making your marriage flop by wanting to do what the others outside want you to do. Some men get married and they begin to develop protruded tummy and the rest of them. Oh, they're married. Nobody is looking at them. Your wife is looking at you. She loved you when you had flat tummy. She loved you when you had 6 packs. Or probably she loved you when you were big. So just maintain that thing that makes your relationship work. And don't try to spoil it by doing otherwise. Now, my 5th point is have regular treats and retreats. Have regular treats and retreats. Even the Bible says in Songs of Solomon chapter 2 verse 10, it says, rise up, my love. Rise up, my fair one, and come away. Wow. Come away. That is to say, come, let us separate ourselves from the crowd. Let's separate ourselves from the rest of the family. Retreats and treats have a way of making the husband and wife bond. Sometimes just take a break. Sometimes take a vacation. It may not be outside your town. It could be in a hotel in your town. It could be in another house other than where you would have people around. Spend time with your husband, spend time with your wife. That will avail you the opportunity of discussing heart-to-heart issues, things that have been bothering you, things you want to talk about. It's the right time to bond. It's the right time to know certain things and correct certain errors that may have been made in time past. Sometimes you see a husband and wife, oh, they're always working Monday to... Some people work Monday to Sunday. They go to work by 7 a.m. Of course, their partner can even hardly see them. They wake up, they have their bath, they rush off to work, they come back late. There is no time to talk. There is no time to discuss. And then you see such families drifting apart. To enjoy a healthy marriage, you must have time for retreats, just you and your spouse. My sixth point is this: don't starve each other. The husband should not starve the wife should not starve the husband. If your wife offends you, if your husband offends you, the best thing to do is to let them politely know that you are offended by their words, by their actions, by their inactions. Sometimes you see husbands, you see wives, they want to retaliate, what the partner has done. They are very angry, and the next thing, they are starving the partner of food, they are starving them of sex, they are starving them of things that rightfully belongs to them because they are angry. You end up making things worse. You end up spoiling the relationship. You end up making it toxic. If you are offended, if there are things that you feel you want to talk about, that you are hurting about, you let your spouse know in the most decent manner, not being aggressive, but starving him, starving her of certain things should not be, or even anything at all should not be. When you were getting married, you would exchange marital vows. Oh, my body I give to you. All that I have I give to you. And the rest of them. And now you are not happy over something, and you feel the best way to handle that situation is to starve your spouse of money, starve them of food, starve them of sex. And when they try to get evil in a certain way, you become angry. Please, irrespective of what the issue is, do not starve your partner. My seventh point is this: do not give or receive gifts without the consent of your spouse, or at least without informing your spouse. Why do I say so? Some people have wrong motives for giving you gifts. Some people have ulterior motives for giving you gifts, and you may not know. You see a married woman, and then some other man somewhere is always giving her a gift, always giving gifts. Today is a flower, today is a card, today is a wristwatch, tomorrow is a perfume, and the rest of them. And you're excited. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. He could just be lusting after you because he finds you attractive, irrespective of the fact that you're married. On the other hand, too, some ladies could be nice to some married men. You give them wristwatch here, give them perfumes and other kind of gifts. And to you, oh, she's just being nice. Oh, she's a nice lady. Oh, she's a nice girl. Unknown to you that there are things hidden under. It's also not enough to just see someone, and begin to give gifts continuously. Oh, the lady has asked the man for money. Oh, my house rent. Oh, my this. I'm not against you helping people. I'm only saying that before you give or receive, or even if you had already done that, always inform your partner. It is said that a fish who eats every worm it sees will end up eating hook. So every time you collect gifts, one day you may collect the one that will land you into trouble. The one that will make your marriage begin to shake, and you begin to cry and say, oh, I don't know what is happening. But you didn't take precaution. If it happens that you were giving the gift, maybe your spouse wasn't there, you didn't, seek consent, immediately that happens, you have to inform him or her. I've seen a lot of women blackmail men after begging them for money. Oh, please help me. My house rent has just expired. I need to pay my school fees. Oh, my children need to eat, and the rest of them. And the man genuinely, out of a sincere heart, out of a caring heart, because he knows he has a family, and then the man gives this money, maybe transfers it into the account of the person asking. And the next thing, the lady will come, oh, you're having an affair with me. Look at the evidence. If you're not having an affair, how come you transferred this amount of money to me? The man was just being nice. Before you receive gifts, or if maybe you had already received a gift, always inform your partner, because when issues arise, he or she could stand and say, yes, I'm aware of this particular transaction. My 8th point is this: respect your partner's emotions. Respect their emotions. When they are down, understand with them. When they are sick, bear with them. Sometimes emotions could make spouses unable to do certain obligations. If they are sick, if maybe your spouse just got fired, and you know that such a time he would be down, you shouldn't go all out shouting, just making the place hot. At that point in time, be with him, console her. If there's a business transaction that failed, what your partner needs from you at that time is to talk them into having hope, into having faith, and not trying to make the matter worse. When they are happy, be happy with them. When they are sad, try to find out what's making them sad, what's making him sad, what's making her sad, and try to see if you can make your spouse's mood to be lifted, if you make his or her spirit to be lifted. That's what you should do, and not to make the whole place uncomfortable. My 9th point is this: you are the mirror to your spouse. It doesn't matter how long a woman takes time to make up, make her hair and the rest. It doesn't matter how much time she looks in the mirror. A word from her spouse can either make her feel bad or make her feel better. Just imagine that a woman spends so much time making her hair, fixing her nails, making up, and she thinks she's good to go. And then the spouse comes and says, what's that? You look ugly. Whoa, that makeup is bad. Even if you were once confident that, your makeup was good, or you were once confident that your hair was nice, that singular comment can make you feel bad for the rest of the day, and even for weeks and even for months if not properly handled. So it is advisable, it is encouraged that spouses, compliment one another. Oh, I love your shirt. Oh, I love your tie. This dress looks good on you. Whoa, I love your makeup. Wow, your hair is nice. It boosts the confidence of your spouse. It makes your spouse to believe that he or she is loved. Not every time you act as though you're not noticing her hair, or you're not noticing his new shirt or his wristwatch. Little things like this, if not done, can make a relationship unhealthy. But when these things are done regularly, it can make that relationship even healthier than it used to be. Now, my final point is this: learn to appreciate your spouse. Also learn to apologize to your spouse. Appreciation doesn't cost much. In 10 seconds, you can just tell your husband, you can tell your wife, thank you so much, darling. I really appreciate your effort towards making this home peaceful. I appreciate your effort towards providing for us in the home. Even if, yes, it's the responsibility of the man, the Bible says the man should provide. But it doesn't take out anything to appreciate him for rising up to the responsibility and providing. After all, there are men who know that they have such responsibilities, yet they are not providing. So when he does certain things, appreciate him. Oh, honey, thank you so much. Even if it's something worth 500 naira, appreciate him. Oh, thank you. Always say thank you. You can send text messages. It's not expensive. Appreciation doesn't mean buying a big gift. Doesn't mean buying a car or buying an expensive wristwatch or an expensive phone. A text message of 4 naira can do a lot. I remember one time, my husband posted something on Facebook. We took a picture, and in that picture he was holding a bicycle, and I was standing beside him. And I'm paraphrasing now because I cannot remember word for word what he said, but the impression stuck in my head for over 5 years. Now he said, darling, I know that when I came to ask your hand in marriage, I promised you a whole lot of things. I promised you to buy you a new car. I promised you mansions. I promised you a whole lot to take you shopping abroad and the rest. I promised you a private jet. But please, for now, since I cannot afford the private jet, the new car, the mansion, please accept this bicycle from my heart with lots of love. And then he went further to say that he appreciated me for all the things. He appreciates me for all the things I've done and how I've been, blah, blah, blah. And you know that singular post on Facebook, every time I would bring up my phone, I would read it, I would smile. Sometimes on my own, when nobody's there, I would read it, I would smile. And I was grateful. He didn't have to buy me a jet. He didn't have to buy me a car or a new dress. But he just appreciates the fact that I've been a good wife, and that is it. Also learn to apologize. It doesn't take anything to say I'm sorry. Sometimes pride can cause rifts in a family. You don't only apologize when you are wrong. Sometimes you could be correct. Yeah. Sometimes you could have done the right thing and your partner is wrong. But because love is your watchword, because you want to hold the family together, because you want your relationship not to deteriorate further, you just say I'm sorry. Sometimes when you say that you're sorry, you prick the heart of whoever has offended you. And in his quiet time, in her quiet time, you say, oh, I did something wrong, and yet he is the one apologizing, she is the one apologizing. And with time, they will change. So please, I want to believe that after listening to this video, you would go back home and put everything I've said to work. And when you do that, indeed, you will have a healthy relationship. Thank you, and God bless you. Until we meet next time, my name remains Caroline Alfred, your host for Moment of Distinction.